Hi guys and girls, Fohammer 2003 here with a review of Tomb Raider on Xbox 360. If you haven't bought the game yet, then why on earth not? It's awesome! But if you want to know more about the game, keep watching. Tomb Raider is a reboot of the series, which means this installment is essentially a prequel. It sets the stage of how Lara Croft came to be the adventurous girl a generation of gamers have come to love. This refresh of the series sees us playing Tomb Raider in a way we previously could only have imagined, and the game has been given a full overhaul, one that brings the series bang up to date while keeping the elements the developers know we want to keep in place. Of course, the first thing the developers want to impress you with is the stunning detail and backdrop for the game, and they definitely have achieved that. With stunning vistas and texture detail that is almost unrivaled with any other game of this size, you will have plenty of eye candy, and that's without looking at Lara. The environment takes you through every imaginable type of scenery, from open mountainous peaks, through tight dark caves, to shanty towns that are so intricate it'll have you searching them for hours. This is all with a stunning weather system that really envelops you. It brings you into Miss Croft's adventure. You almost forget it's a third-person game at times. Of course, there are large sections to traverse, and you will spend a lot of your time navigating the world with climbing, jumping and crawling through the landscape. You never know quite when a ledge will collapse beneath you and make you have to think quickly to avoid certain death. Quick time events make an appearance throughout the game, more often than not when you are climbing or navigating the environment. I find the quick time events difficult to comment on, as I personally don't like them generally. However, in Tomb Raider they are generally well conceived and executed. On the other hand, they are a typical excuse for you to die, as unless you have the reflexes of a cat you will undoubtedly perish during a few of these. Lighting and camera effects are pretty much spot on and really immerse you in the game. However, at the start of the game you will possibly notice a lot of water spray effects on the screen, and the same with blood spatter. For me, that makes you feel a little like you're playing behind plate glass, and is an overkill as an effect. It's only a small gripe, however, one amongst a sea of compliments. I'd put the campaign length at about 40 to 50 hours on average difficulty. That's if you don't spend lots of time finding things as you go. And there are plenty of reasons to keep playing this game once you have finally completed it as well. There are optional tombs, which are puzzles you need to complete to gain specific treasures or rewards. I'm currently uploading a set of guides to the optional tombs, by the way, so keep an eye out for those. There are different sets of hard to find objects throughout the game too, dependent on which area you're in. Then on top of that you have documents to find as well as collections of relics. This will keep you coming back trying to complete the entire game, and it's a pleasure to, not a bind. As you're playing, you will gain XP for certain actions, whether that be hunting wildlife, killing the enemies, finding hidden objects, completing tombs, sections of a level, and so on. These XP points then add up till you unlock a skill point, which to further advance Lara's skills. These skills are set into 3 sections: Survivor, Hunter and Brawler, and you'll need to be carefully selective as to which one you need to complement your gameplay style. Other than the hidden collectibles, you'll collect salvage along your journey, for you to later use at camps, which are essentially a base of mission end, where you can regroup and strengthen Lara and her abilities. This salvage is for upgrading and enhancing your weapons. This will become very important later in the game as you face larger and harder sections of combat during the game, so it's always advisable to collect as much as you can as you progress through the earlier stages. Salvage can be found in many locations, looting the dead, in boxes, in the optional tombs and more. The base camps I just mentioned are also fast travel points you can use to travel back and forth throughout the stages in the game. As I mentioned before, there are plenty of combat sections. So what's combat like? Well, it's certainly fun and could be difficult enough at times to see you die, which is good. I for one like a challenge now and then, so long as it's fair, and the combat here certainly is. When faced with enemies, Lara will automatically try and duck behind cover unless you start aiming at an enemy, at which point she'll peer over or around the cover with her weapon. It's a really simple and good system that works flawlessly. Slay all the enemy and she will resume a normal stance again. I wish more games would use a cover mechanic as flawless and as simple to use as this. Weapons range from your bow, pistol, shotgun, assault rifle and even your pickaxe for close combat. Each weapon will later unlock a unique second ability too. The great thing about this is each weapon seems to have its own niche use, and if used effectively and correctly will aid you further in completing sections when you use them. The sounds whilst playing the game will only aid in your enjoyment, as musical scores are set to the scene going on in front of you, and can really build to the feeling. Sound effects are accurate and very diverse, so much thought has been put into the entire level design of the game's sound. You will at times need to listen for key sounds, as these are often indicators of something that needs to be done, or of something that can be found nearby. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this review, and you should have your coat on by now to go and buy this fantastic release. If I had to compare this to any other game, it would be the Uncharted series on PlayStation 3, for quality, fun and replay value, perhaps even better. I don't want you to think this is a copy of Uncharted, it's really not. Tomb Raider has raised its own benchmark by a mile, and that's no easy task. The developers should definitely be grinning from ear to ear on this fantastic release. Now everyone, click subscribe, then go out and get yourself a copy. Cheers guys.